Hello everyone, and welcome to this theoretical analysis of Black Mirror. For this assignment, I chose to examine virtual worlds in Black Mirror through a psychoanalytic lens. Specifically, I applied theories of dream interpretation and transference's role in dreams to virtual worlds in Black Mirror. Though they disagree on certain elements of dream interpretation, or dream work, psychoanalysts Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung concur that dreams are vessels through which the unconscious thoughts and desires manifest in the conscience. The unconscious, which is usually suppressed by the conscious, inserts itself in dreams and commingles with known feelings and thoughts in the conscious. One of Jung's patients, for example, dreamed that his fiancée ran away from him and was swallowed by a fissure in the earth, and he was concerned that he didn't try to save her. The fiancée's demise represented his fear that his depression would overwhelm her, and his own inaction in the dream was based in his subconscious belief that he was evil, or no good. His conscious believed that he would undoubtedly act to save his fiancée in reality, but his fantasy represented his unconscious fears. Transference is the mental act of superimposing feelings and attachments to someone unrelated to that person. Another one of Jung's patients envisioned him as an evil wizard in her dreams who prevented her from crossing a river. Though she resented herself for relying on Jung and not being able to move on in her life, she transferred her frustration onto Jung in her dreams. So those are some fascinating theories about dream interpretation, but what do they have to do with Black Mirror? Well, if you substitute dreams with the virtual worlds in Black Mirror, those same theories can reveal the psyches of the characters who use those virtual worlds. Take Playtest, for example. The main character signs up for a virtual reality horror game trial, and the game inserts elements from his conscious and subconscious to scare him. As he entered the game company's facility, he passes a man wearing a t-shirt with a spider on it. The character does claim to have arachnophobia, but the spider that manifested in the game looked eerily similar to the design on the employee's clothing. The house where the game trial takes place is based on a horror game he had seen before, but he also passed a portrait of the house while walking through the building. He mentions the game company's headquarters' similarities to Hogwarts from the Harry Potter franchise, and jokes that he hopes he gets placed in Gryffindor. The wallpaper in the game trial depicts an emblem of a lion, which mirrors Gryffindor's crest. Transference in the episode can be seen in the manifestations of his girlfriend and mother. His girlfriend had provided him a place to live for an extended period of time and encouraged him to reconnect with his mother. He saw her as motivation to get his life back on track. In the game, she shows up to save him from the test, but quickly turns violent. She had insisted that he participate in the playtest, and he begrudged her for getting him into a terrifying situation. At the end of the episode, he envisions himself going home to see his widowed mother who he hadn't seen in months. In the trial, she is grief-stricken and doesn't remember him anymore, representing his fear that he left her in a time of need for too long, and that she was suffering because of his decisions. Of course, a mother would recognize her son, but his own insecurities presented through his virtual mother. In the episode Striking Vipers, lifelong friends Danny and Carl reconnect through a virtual reality version of their favorite video game from college. They choose the same characters they used to play. Carl is a female and Danny is a male. After a short battle, the two characters, controlled by Danny and Carl, make passionate love. Their affair becomes more common, and the two men isolate from reality. Carl no longer has interest in real intimacy, and Danny pulls away from his wife. In the end, the two agree to limit their tryst so they can continue with their virtual affair in-game. The characters the men choose depict their unconscious desires. Carl states that the female avatar provides him with higher physical satisfaction during sex than his real male form. Danny's avatar represents his discomfort with sex with a man. He has always identified as a heterosexual male and can reconcile his choice to have virtual sex with a man because the other avatar is female. Danny's decreased affection for his wife is rooted in his own cognitive dissonance. He understands that a man is controlling his virtual sexual partner, but chooses to separate the avatar from the gamer. Danny is not completely able to dissociate them, and resents his own confusion about his sexual preferences. He transfers his own insecurities onto his wife, who stands as a symbol of his heterosexuality. He is not actually unattracted to his wife, but is resentful of his own confusion about his sexual preferences. The roles of the unconscious mind, the conscious mind, and transference in Black Mirror's virtual worlds can be seen in other episodes as well. In USS Callister, Robert Daly executes wish fulfillment through virtual reality in which copies of his real co-workers are subservient to him, while he feels inconsequential in the real world. Though he supposedly created and controls the world, he is usurped as the leader and denied access to the game. If he did have complete control over the game code, he could have prevented a mutiny. His exit from the game was a manifestation of his discomfort with wanting to be a hero, but inadvertently becoming a villain. The game no longer granted wish fulfillment, and his subconscious allowed his eviction from the virtual world. In Be Right Back, Martha is dismissive of her husband, Ash, before he left the house to run errands. When he was killed in a car accident, she ordered a program which simulated her late husband and upgraded the service which provides an avatar of the deceased. Though her transference of emotions from the real Ash to the simulated one is apparent, Martha had other motivations for her decision-making. Her guilt about her behavior the day Ash died haunted her, and being able to engage with the virtual Ash provided an opportunity to make amends with her unconscious guilt. The replacement Ash was not a perfect substitute for the original, and Martha felt guilty for forming a relationship with another man. Her anger towards the android Ash was a manifestation of her unconscious guilt for trying to replace her dead husband. In every other simulated reality in Black Mirror, these same themes present themselves. In conclusion, early psychoanalytic theories about dreams were restricted to the roles of the conscious, the unconscious, and transference in fantasy. Those same theories can be applied to film analysis. The episodes of Black Mirror in which characters engage in virtual realities both embody the tenets of dream analysis and serve as cautionary tales for the potential vessels the unconscious could occupy. Obscured impulses could escape the censorship of the conscious in a more concrete format, and transference could root in the material plane. Understanding film analysis through a psychoanalytic lens allows for the dissection of characters' motivations and prepares audiences' psyches for engaging with potential future technologies.